This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to the Pit Stop. We are back. We are back for more sim racing news, and I'm going to warn you right now, I'm a little out of sorts today, a little jet lagged. Got in yesterday. I had to wake up at 3:30 in the morning to get home from my weekend, and we're going to talk a little bit about my weekend because I have seen the light. Oh, I have seen the holy grail of racing. If you are a wealthy person and you want to know what the best place you can be and live if you're a racing person, I have been there, and that is Monticello, and I was there this weekend and had an incredible weekend there. But I am here, I'm jet lagged, I've got that jet laggy hungover feeling. I have not even had a time to really go through the news. I pulled up some stories, so anything you guys know about, and of course there are a few big ones, Gran Turismo, sure, we're going to get to that as well, that we're going to talk about. But if you guys can help me out more than any time, I'm a little out of sorts, a little behind the gun, and anything you've heard about in the last 4 or 5 days, I'd love to talk about. And some of the stories that I may be pulling up, I haven't even read through them yet, so you guys probably know more than I do today. Haven't even had a chance to download Gran Turismo Sport. So, first things first, if you follow the Simpit on Facebook, you've probably seen a majority of these photos already. But I'm just going to play this while I talk, and hopefully I don't have the volume too loud. I just put this together. I didn't put a whole lot of time, but like I said, I have been to the Holy Grail, and at this Monticello event, it was a Concours d'Elegance as well, and it was like some of the best cars you're ever going to see, but most of them actually went out on the track. And this isn't just a normal car show where a bunch of trailers drop off these, incredible cars, iconic cars, the kind of cars that you dream of seeing, let alone seeing them on the track. And Stan, we're going to talk about that, sure. So, anyway, you're seeing what I saw. These photos, some of them are good, some of them are bad. These were all just done with my phone. I didn't have a whole lot of time to run around looking at things because I was also working with CFC Simulations and letting all these guys who race daily, weekly, in these cars we're looking at on the track, and I was putting them in the sims and letting them have a go around. So anyway, I met some great people, and no, I didn't put it in this video, there was one 280. I have a 240, there's a 280 at the show, and it kind of made me laugh. In fact, there's a Mazda Cosmo, it might be in the background right now, and the Porsche that is now playing was the beastiest Porsche 911 that I've ever seen, and that's why I kind of finished with that clip. But this was the most beautiful racetrack I've ever seen in my lifetime. The manicuring, the landscaping, the layout of the track, massive elevation, a variety of different corner types, incredible track, and it's a country club. You know, if you don't know what Monticello is all about, this is a country club for wealthy people in New York, where they can store their cars, their vintage cars, their race cars, whatever, and head out on track anytime they want. They have a fleet of mechanics, a fleet of instructors, and all the other extra things, like a go-kart track and some off-roading stuff and all the cool stuff. I'm going to play the video again while I keep blabbing away on this because I just, again, had so much fun. And again, the holy grail of racing, perhaps, and unfortunately so restricted. It is... it's a country club. I've been to country clubs, and all the perks, all of the things that go along with it, they take such incredible care of you. No, I did not see Chris Christie there, Tom. I did see Danny Sullivan and Tommy Kendall were both there, and a lot of people who you might not know, but have the kind of wealth that a lot of us will probably never understand, or I hope all of us do someday understand. Hello, Pablo. Yeah, it wasn't your typical. A lot of these, when you really got up close, they actually had some little road dings, and these 90% of them were drivers. And no Bernie Ecclestone. The guy, I believe Pagani was there. There are two incredible, like maybe the nicest Paganis you'd ever see. I wish I could pause the video. This doesn't allow it. The two BMWs I really liked, the Z8, and somebody maybe help me out. It was like a 63 BMW something. And Darren, that is wonderful to hear. Thank you so much. I'm glad. That is our goal, to grow sim racing, to grow this channel, grow sim racing as a hobby and a sport. And Oliver, you put you put cameras in my bedroom, that's going to be a frightening thing to see someday on YouTube, I would think. So, anyway, that's all I'm going to say. We finished that video, but I had a great time. That's why I was gone for 5 days, seeing all of that. So let's move through news. And again, if you guys can give me a hand here, I'm very behind on things, and I apologize, but I was eager to get back on the air. I was eager to be hanging out with you guys and talking sim racing. So, no, this event, nobody recognized me at all. Poor me. Poor me. Gran Turismo. Let's talk it. So, I'm sure some of you have already downloaded and tried it, the demo. I have not. We're 7 days away from the full-blown version of the game coming out. I do not have an advanced copy. Of all the companies in the world, Sony is very difficult to work with. They're just the biggest company in sim racing, if you really want to call it. And Marquise, no, I have not played it yet, so I'm going to do that today. I don't think I'll be able to stream it because it's on the PS4. I'll be checking that out. We'll see what we can do with it coming up, though. Barry, yes, and we're going to get to that in a moment as well. So, let's just go through some of the things. Obviously, it's coming out on the 17th. They've got another one of their promo videos. They've got the Peugeot personalized cars. So, and again, please chime in. If you guys know more about this than I do, help me out here, because I'm so far behind. But I just wanted to get back to it, like I said. How is the demo? I don't see anybody chiming in with thoughts on how the demo is. Have any of you tried it? What is it all about? I've seen some pictures, seen some videos. It looks pretty impressive. El Bucho, that'll be wonderful for you. Alright, so if nobody has any opinions or thoughts on Gran Turismo, we're going to move right along. We can come back to it, of course. I bring up iRacing because this was a big week. This was the official qualifying event was going to be going on with the world's fastest gamer. And I have not watched the race yet, but one of the guys that we pretty much could have expected to do well was Freak Schothorst. And he is our next qualifier into the world's fastest gamer. So he will be going up against the best of the best. You know, if you saw my Rudy Van Buren interview, you saw one of the finalists. We've seen some videos of some of the other finalists at the world's fastest gamer site. So if you want to get to know, you know, this is 10 guys who are going after that big prize, one of the biggest prizes possibly, of being a McLaren simulator driver. So anyway, congratulations to Freak and Schothorst, Freak Schothorst, and I wish him the best of luck. And you know, they're moving on to that interview phase. We don't even know what they're really going to do. We know from that interview that they had to give them the driving suit sizes, so that would imply maybe they're going to do something on track or in a car. We know they're going to do some simulation stuff, or we assume, and we know there's going to be a big interview process. So that will be, and PRC, no offense to PRC, but has PRC ever written a positive review? So I would expect that from them, and I would almost trust Marquise's opinion more because of just the notoriousness of PRC, if you want to be fair. And I read PRC all the time, so don't get me wrong there. But Darren Price, my recommendation when it comes to that is, if you have the skills and you want customization, 80/20 rigs are awesome, and there's a certain sense of satisfaction of building your own. However, it takes time. Sometimes it even costs more money than buying a rig. I love my R seat. I have both the RS1 and the N1. I've done a review on both, so I mean, I have some pros and cons for them, but turnkey great rig. Turnkey great rig. I have nothing really that bad to say about it. I had to make a couple little modifications to make it just right. Well, let's come back to that question there, Psychopath. The question of TGT versus Fnatic. Let's come back to that topic in a minute. I have a story that might relate to that, and we'll come back to that thought. So, let's see. Yeah, I agree. PRC seems to really lean on being towards the negative. Alright, moving right along. That was iRacing, World's Fastest Gamer. Project Cars 2. I'm not going to dwell too much, other than they are being nominated for Best Audio. So my question to you is, how do you think their audio is? They're now being put on a list against all of the games of the world, not just sim racing games, audio being what they're nominated for. And, you know, so what do you think of the audio? Can it rival general games, and can it rival the entire industry and win an award for audio category? Anyway, I don't have a whole lot more on Project Cars, I don't think. Nope, that was pretty much it. There's a Razer competition if you're looking to get a Razer controller and a copy of Project Cars 2. And that looks like it's going on through Razer. So again, I'm sorry I'm doing this, like, kind of catching up on the news in front of you. But as you all know, I've been away and really a little behind the gun. Race Room is the thing I've been threatening to get into. The eSport competition, the WTCC, keeps going on and on. If anybody's competed in that, I'd love your feedback on how it is. How are the cars? How are the tracks? How tough is the leaderboard? Where do you stand? This is probably the next thing that I'm going to get involved with really late into it, almost towards the end. They're already at round 8. But, again, this is the year of competitions. This is the year of prize money, rewards, even if it's not money, just other things that are going to come to you from having won some of these big events. This is the year that our pro gaming teams are going to be determined. And if you know anything about electronic sports, e-sport, whatever you want to call it, it takes being on a pro team to be in the big, big, big money. Sure, there are some open tournaments, but the big teams have the in. The big teams are on their way to these events already. So, Marquise, that's a good point when you talk fantasy versus real track, and I think that's relevant. I actually am a big fan of fantasy tracks. Sometimes they can do some things that we always dreamed of. You know, I mean, not that they have it in GT Sport, but like, I live in Southern California. I've always dreamed of a track that was built around downtown Los Angeles because it would be very cool. You can make such a cool layout. Of course, it'll never happen. Fantasy tracks give you just unlimited ability. And if you can keep a certain amount of realism, for a lot of us, that's as fun as driving at known tracks. Danny, yeah, I think it has great audio as well. And I'm not sure if they're being judged as a whole package or like for car sounds and their authenticity or any of that. What's going to be the factor to determine Project Cars 2 on a level of audio? Bye, Tom. I'll see you later. See you on the track as well. Right on. Excuse me. Right choice. No, I did not. I'm not even 100% sure what that is, but let's go ahead and look it up real quick. That's how today's show is going to be. That's how every day's show could be, really. Wow, that search didn't really... That's what you mean right there. Is that what you're talking about? The replacement for Jeff Gordon? So there we go. That is good news. Thank you for bringing that up. That's a cool version of the car. Anyway, sorry taking a little bit longer to talk about everything here. Race Room is absolute audio king. Now, I think part of getting into that competition to be considered the best audio, I think part of it is actually being in a new game. Not, you know, Race Room is a evolving sim, so they don't get those moments where they're perceived as a new game. And, you know, that's something that I'd always talk about when it comes to Assetto Corsa. R Factor 2 is a second version, but they could go years on that title and not get credit for a new game. iRacing at one point rebranded as iRacing 2.0. At what point do evolving sims need to rebrand or re-release just in order to get attention as a new title, even though they've been doing 100 updates, 1,000 updates, who knows? Albucho, I completely agree. It's nice having a balance between real and fantasy. And Jay Duval, you picked up on what I was thinking. An odd award for a game, a driving game. And that's kind of funny you say that, because I thought that, I just didn't say it. RGR, welcome to the show. Thank you. And Marquise, that's a big factor. I mean, for me, especially when you talk about games that have a giant library of cars, it's important that they look and sound and feel unique. And it needs to be all, not just one or pick your favorite two. It needs to be all. George, yeah, and see that's relevant. I don't know if they're in the caliber of some other games. I mean, my brother's more of a gamer than I do, so I see him playing, you know, Final Fantasy and, you know, all these other types of games, and I don't know if we're on their level. So, I am waiting on the official answer to that question, Marquise, about Race Room devs working on a GT3. I have contacted them and have not heard back. And I'm going to make another round of contacts now that I'm back in town because I want that answer. And I want to start getting some details and information. Hi, Greg. And El Bucho, that's exactly what I want to know when I get it and download it and start playing, is how does it really compare to Forza? That's going to be the big software battle of the year. Alright, so we talked Race Room. Codemasters, this is a big deal. So, right now, as we speak, Formula 1 F1 eSports semifinal. And wouldn't you know it, the guys from Redline are there, and from what I've heard, doing rather well. TSPC Racer. And this is a big deal. I've been talking about it. These guys are the guys. I mean, this competition, and say what you will about Formula 1. I don't mean Formula 1, but F1 2017. F1 2017 is being propelled into that esport level. I mean, look at this. This is not nickel and dime stuff. That's Ollie Pakala right there on the left. Redline is there in full force. And when I was talking about the teams that are going to go and become the professionals of our world, I mean, these are the professionals of our hobby, our sport, our world, sim racing. And these guys are going to make a career making, I mean, maybe career level money as a sim racer. And, you know, hey, is it time that you learn to love and compete in Codemasters? Is it time? I mean, I don't know if you're in the house here, Cy Yip, but if you're one of the best of the best, and if you're pretty darn good, you probably know this, Cy. No. Is it time to get a team around you? You know why Redline's there? Because their manager, Dom Doohan, has his finger on the pulse of sim racing. And if there is money to be made, if there is notoriety to be had, Dom Doohan, the manager and driver at Redline, makes sure his guys are there. And it doesn't matter at this point if we're talking pro-level esports, if it's Codemasters, or if it's iRacing, or Assetto Corsa, or Project Cars, or Forza, or Gran Turismo, for that matter. And if you want to be in that level of racing and be a pro, you're going to need to maybe have somebody who's always got their finger on the pulse of what's going on in sim racing. So, I applaud Codemasters for being one of the games getting us there. I applaud Project Cars for being one of the games going there. R-Factor 2 made it into the competition with World's Fastest Gamer. iRacing with both their individual championships with NASCAR affiliation, their road championship, big money, and then also their affiliation with World's Fastest Gamer. But right there, Visa Vegas, I mean, look at how much money is going out. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep talking about it. This is the year of money coming to sim racing. And maybe some of us can have it. Wouldn't you like to compete there? Look at this, up on a world stage, television coverage. It's huge. It's huge. Sorry, I'm sorry, but I can't get over it. Excuse me, sorry about that. This is news. Dirt Rally is coming to the Mac OS. So any of those who have Mac friends who you can't get into sim racing, here's a really good title that's coming their way. Don't know what kind of wheels are available for the Mac. That'll be kind of interesting. Alright, we talked about Fnatic. The CSL Elite wheel in the GT Sport options menu will not be seen. Therefore, players can't enjoy some of the wheel's advanced features in the game, such as force feedback. So, that's a little bit of bad news right now. This is for the demo version. And I want a clue on one. So, if you're trying to do it and you're using that wheel, you might not be working at all. At this time. That is a key word right there. At this time. To me, that implies that at a future time, that won't be an issue or a problem. So that's one question or thing about Fnatic. Thank you, Stan. Oh, even better, because I'm going to do a promo video for the series today. So I'm going to use that for my footage. Thank you very much. Mr. Noodle, I know we are. It's going to be coming. Project Cars is going to be doing their thing as well, straight up with ESL, I believe. So we're going to see Formula 1 and Project Cars 2 on that. I mean, honestly, global world level. As cool as World's Fastest Gamer is, we're still in that micro competition world. When you talk about P-Cars and ESL, you talk about F1 and Gfinity Gaming League, you're talking world stage. So, Alex, I don't know if I necessarily agree with you, because Gregor Hutu has been a dominant force in sim racing for 20 years. The best of the best aren't going to wear out like a real Formula 1 driver. Age isn't going to hit them as fast as it will. Eventually it will. It catches up with us. But a sim racer's career could theoretically be longer than a real-life driver's career, I think. I'd love your guys' opinion on that as well. Yeah, Laynab, so it's going to take quite a Mac. I can't even imagine what that Mac costs. And Barry, only 7 real-world tracks. And I don't know the actual count, and I'm behind on that as well. But that is lean. I mean, I expect, if I'm going to have balance, well, I like having a lot of tracks. I mean, so how many, fantasy tracks are there to go with? The other is, depending on the tracks and layouts, maybe there is some entertainment to be had if they have multiple layouts of a lot of those tracks. Darren, no, I do not have a release date. That's another one of the conversations that I'm having behind the scenes trying to figure that out. Thrustmaster, when I find them, I like to let you guys know. If you guys ever find them, please let us all know. Tix, this is Xbox. Tix. This is Xbox on Twitter is giving away a Sparko edition Thrustmaster wheel, TSXW. So, if you're looking for a free wheel, you might want to get over there and find out and enter that competition. 7 IMSA tracks, so that's interesting. Specific to IMSA series. I agree, Barry. And look at Gregor Hutu. Look at the run Martin Cookie's been on. Okay, this I want to mention. Okay, so right here, another competition type thing. Rick Motec, one of my good sponsors of the show, and a great guy, makes some great upgrade components for sim racing and makes some really cool sim rigs as well. And the originator of those DIY plans that I had so much fun building. They're having a hot lap challenge with online racers, and they're giving away some prizes, and they're doing it in person, but I believe, so if you're in the Miami area, Wednesday, October 18th, next Wednesday, they're having a party there, so check them out. If you're into that, if you're in the area, you might want to check it out, and I believe they're going to do some online racing as well, which maybe we can find out if we can all get involved. Anyway, cool to see a company opening up the doors and letting everybody come on in and check it out for everybody. Next news, Derek Spear. Look at this. Type 4 load cell handbrake. Should be releasing this month. So that right there is quite a piece of work. And that's something I'm going to have to talk to Derek about, getting one of those over here to test out as well. So that's pretty much me, all I have as far as news goes. So if you guys have anything that I haven't covered, please chime in. Always interested, and I was away, and I'm a little trying to get back to everything. So, Psychopath, no, I haven't heard anything directly, and that's something I can test out when I get the copy of the game in my, well, the demo downloaded, I should say, and we'll see what we do with that later, or what we talk about tomorrow. Next piece of news, and really last piece of news I have, a couple of things. Number one, last season, Porsche Carrera wrapped up last week on Friday. At the beginning of the season, I don't know if you guys remember, but I did say I was going to give a t-shirt away to somebody, and the only requirement was that you had to score points each week. So, I went through the leaderboard from the season, and number one, congratulations to Cy Yip, who went 6 for 6 and won all of the events. He actually went 12 for 12 and just demolished everybody. So, Cy, we all bow to you. That's your prize, as we're all bowing, and you did post time. So, what I've done is, and I just want, oh, I don't have a jar. I'm going to have to walk away and come back to do this right. So, alright, bear with me. I'm going to play that video again one more time for you guys. There you go. I'll be right back in a flash. Alright, I'm sorry about that. So, here I have a bowl, and you can see I cannot see through it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the names of all of the guys, and I just want to read them off, and that way you can see that everybody's going in the bowl. I need to put this here to be totally fair. So, here we have Cy Yip. Oh, you guys can't see it. Oh, that sucks. I have to be able to see it. There it is, Cy Yip. Forgive my writing. Into the bowl. George Vidal. Oh, come on. Anyway, whoever's name I draw is getting a t-shirt. And I'm not going to be able to do this every time because stand on it. You're here in the audience. You don't need to be present to win. You just need to have posted a score in all 6 weeks. That was the only requirement. Jamal Gondor. Sorry to take so much time, but I just wanted you guys to see how fair I'm being in this. No funny business. Chris Milton. And I also, the reason I'm making such a production is, thank you guys. I really appreciate everybody who ran even one race. And for those of you who ran all week, Mark Cohn, my buddy Mark. Any of you who ran each week, I really, really appreciate it. And it makes the series so much more fun when we have good attendance. And Nick Barkneck. And I'd like to see you do a wheel pedal shifter guide for beginners with recommendation. I'm going to do a whole series of beginner guides. I'm a little behind on it. I want to do a beginner guide for each wheel. Or certainly each family, and then maybe break it down by wheel if there's big differences. And I want to do beginner guides for all of the big sims on how to get in, how to get configured. Wayne Robitrode, sorry if I'm saying any names incorrectly, guys. I'm just doing this. I'm folding them in half. I can't see the names. Bill Joshk. Larry Ludwig. And again, all of these guys posted a race in each and every week of the series. That was 6 races. Ray Robinson, that's our final one. There are a couple of guys who only missed 1 race, and it was like, oh, I feel so bad. Doug Hawley only missed 1 week. Moses Choi only missed 1 week. And a couple missed 2, and then I missed 2 myself because I had 2 work trips. So, I'm mixing up the names. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just going to randomly pick one. Alright? So, the winner of the Simpit t-shirt for the Porsche Carrera Cup season is Wayne Robichaud. Wayne Robichaud, come on down. You win a Simpit t-shirt. I will send you a message on SRS. If you are here and you see this video, you can expedite things and just email me at Sean, SHAUN, at thesimpit.com. And give me your name, your address. If you're out of the States, give me your phone number, any information I need to make sure it gets to you, and I'll get that in the mail right away. Also, I can't remember the name. Somebody ordered a t-shirt. I tried to get it out before I left town, but I didn't. It'll be on the way to you tomorrow for sure. So we'll take care of that as well. And yes, Darren, I desperately need to do a modern review of iRacing. They've done so many upgrades since the last time I really did it. And yeah, Tubbsy, I was pulling for Cy just because not only did he dominate the series, but Cy also was really helpful to everybody who participated. I'd like to thank Stan Donnet, and I kind of was pulling for Stan also because he's painted cars for me and helping me with graphics and things, and thank you very much. Big help. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something for Cy. Oh, where are they? Where are they? I'll send Cy. I can't find them. I have some Simpit stickers. So I will take care of sending Cy some Simpit stickers. So Cy, if you watch this show, you can email me, Sean, SHAUN, at thesimpit.com, and I will make sure to send you some stickers, or I'll send you a message on Sim Racing Systems. So, I will try to get that, Darren. I'm so far behind on things. I'm going to try to get to it, though. Let's talk next season, Sim Racing System. I'm not up on the board yet. I have submitted my series. It's going to be the Ferrari 312, and it's going to be tough this season. It's going to take a little more prep work than we've done in the past. Hopefully the car won't be terrible to set up, or we can get a decent, confident, setup right out of the gates that we can work with, hopefully. But right now I'm looking at running the Ferrari 312. I'm looking at starting things off. The first track is going to be the existing version of Zandvoort in Assetto Corsa, so a stock track. The existing, I think, version of Spa. There is a historic Spa. I'm just seeing if it works and there's any bugs or problems. So I might swap it for historic. Followed by Fuji 68, which you can get at Race Department if you join Sim Racing System. And that's just simracingsystem.com. It's what I have up here on the screen. If you join them... Whoops, I'm clicking on my broadcast. If you go there, you can just join, sign up, create a membership, and then you can race in any of their series, not just the Simpit series. There are a lot of great series to run in. Mine will be on the board later today, hopefully. Anyway, third race, Fuji 68. Fourth race will be Riverside Long. We did Riverside last year. We're going to go back to it, but do the long version. Number 5, this is the one. This might get rejected by the league. Nordschleife. So we're going to run the big track. It'll probably only be 2 laps for the whole race, maybe 3. And then finally, we're going to finish up with the Assetto Corsa version of historic Monza. Barry, Zolder's one that I asked a question about. I'm waiting on word whether it's worthy. So there might be some changes to this schedule. Later today, I'm hoping to have a clear answer on the official order. But we are going to start Thursday, so you're going to have to get on this right away. Wednesday night, I will probably do a setup. Maybe Cy can show and give us a hand. We'll try to get a baseline setup for everybody ready to go. We'll be racing Thursday and Friday night at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, I really, really hope you all join us for the races. We had some great racing last season. Even the last 2 seasons have both been great racing. We've had a really, really good time doing all of that. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're fine with Nords. I'm just wondering if I'm going to get a bunch of people saying, no, don't do that to us. But I try to get tracks that sort of emulated the season that they ran in 67. Was what I'm really trying to do. So, anyway, that is it for all my news. Let me look at my notes just to make sure. We're going to call it just the Sim Racing Season Simpit Legends Series. It's just the Legends. We're going to keep it simple. We talked about Monticello and what a great time I had. We talked about the news. Really had a good show. I'm really glad to be back in town doing this, hanging out with my buddies, my sim racing buddies. I'm really glad the pit crew is all here in the house, chiming in with some opinion and thoughts and even updating some of the news. And Flynn, yes, the 920 is a fine starting wheel. And, you know, you could consider, you know, starter wheels, the Fanatec CSL, the Thrustmaster TX or T300, depending on which console you might use, and then the appropriate Logitech if you also have a console. Barry, unfortunately, I can't change the time. We're restricted to 20. So that's why we're where we are. And anyway, I think this season's going to be fun, though. So if you haven't run with us before, please do. I'm going to do it one more time, but I think this is going to be the last time the Simpit can even consider affording such a thing. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. If you make all 6 weeks, you score at least points in one of the 2 races each 6 weeks of this series, which starts Thursday and Friday every week. Pick your best finish of the 2, so you can run both, or just either one. You just need 1 finish per week to score points. Everybody who scores all 6 weeks will be eligible to win a Simpit t-shirt, and maybe I'll throw in a runner-up prize of some Simpit stickers like I'm going to send to Cy, and I want to just continue to grow that series. So as much as I always ask you guys to like and share our videos, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff, tell people about the series. If you've run with us, you know we've had fun. Tell your friends. If you haven't run with us, please join us, and then you're going to have fun, and you're going to tell your friends. I'd love to see more and more splits, so when we get huge numbers, it just gives us multiple race rooms to run with. I always air my live streams of the race. I always try to help you out as much as I can with some baseline setups and anything I can do to make it easier for you. If you're trying and having difficulty getting into it, email me, Sean, S-H-A-U-N, at thesimpit.com, and I'll be sure to do everything I can to help you get in the series and run with us all. So, that is the show for today, and thank you, Stan. We are going to get a form of donation up and running. I'm working right now on a patron site to give you guys some added perks and allow you to also support, not even support the show, help the show grow, be really part of the Simpit team or the pit crew, and I want to do so much more, but it's only going to come with having some basic support and resources, and when you guys do that, you know, anyway, they're going to be big perks. It's going to be a mutual thing, just the way I run this show. It's always a mutual thing from us at the Simpit, working with you guys as much as we can to make sim racing the best world, the best environment, the best experience you can possibly get out of it. Unlike most other gamings where things are very difficult and restrictive and people don't help out as much. Yes, Psychopath, I'm going to go get it right now. And talking about GT Sport right now, I'm literally going to hook it up and start downloading. Yes, Barry, you only have to run one. You don't have to run both. So if you run both, it'll pick your best finish. But you can run either or, and you're fine. You can run Friday night, because that'll be Saturday morning for you. You're all good. You qualify. Do that 6 weeks, you qualify for the contest. Okay, Stan, I will check that right away and run it today. Thank you. Thank you very much. Pablo, cheers to you as well. Thank you very much, guys. I'm glad to be back. Glad you're here with me this morning. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another news show, and we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. for some version of Let's Get Set Up for this season in the 312 and that variety of tracks. I'm going to try to produce some kind of an intro video today that I'll just put up on YouTube and at my Facebook page that'll just kind of tease the series and give you some other details if you need help getting in. So, again, thank you so much, guys. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.